I left Delhi early in the morning and I'm on my way to a place which lies just outside the city, beautiful Chandigarh, a place surrounded by lush green hills, a place with water bodies, in fact a place which seems like a perfect recipe for a lovely weekend, a place they call the Morni Hills. And to take me there, I have this with me, the Fiat Avventura, which again looks like a perfect car to drive on the highway. But then whenever I leave a place early in the morning, I start getting a bit hungry. I have driven about an hour and a half out of Delhi and I think I found a perfect place to make my first stop and grab some breakfast, a place which is famous for its mouth-watering parathas, Murthal. Time for me to get a mouthful of parathas. Murthal, which used to be an obscure little town on the outskirts of Delhi, is now famous as the paratha capital, and it's easy to spot people from all walks of life making a quick stopover for their fill of parathas. This white stuff, this butter here is something which makes you feel that this will add to the bulge here. But actually I'm told this is homemade butter. It tastes quite good and it is completely fat-free. Anyway, time to dig into the parathas. As was promised, this is quite good stuff, crispy and soft, and with the butter, it of course tastes much better. After tucking in butter dripping, okay, homemade butter dripping, but delicious parathas, I was more than ready for my little over 300-kilometer drive to the Morni Hills. The drive along the Chandigarh road, known as the NH2, is one that requires you to keep a vigilant eye on the road, as these days it's a busy highway, but the smooth tarmac ensures that progress is steady. The Fiat Avventura here is powered by the trusted and reliable 1.3-litre multi-jet engine from Fiat, which does duty on many of Fiat's other cars as well. And I think this is one engine which gives you the right mix of fuel efficiency as well as power. In terms of power output, it churns out 93 brake horsepower and plenty of torque, which makes highway driving a real breeze. The Avventura is also a car which does manage to balance out the ride comfort as well as the handling. This is one car which stays planted on the highways, it handles very confidently, and inside the cabin the noise is filtered out and things are quite nice. In fact, you enjoy driving this car on the highway very much. In addition to all this, the diesel engine here is also quite frugal, which means you save a lot of money on a long drive like this, and that's something I quite like. After almost 5 hours and a quick detour through Panchkula, we were nearing our destination and the landscape too changed drastically. Green foliage all around and the temperature too dropped by a few degrees. I was ready to take in the fresh air and my first sight of the much talked about lakes of the Morni Hills. When you finally make it to Morni Hills, you are greeted by exactly what you would expect to find in a small hill station. Rolling hills, lush green mountainside, and even the pine trees here start making their appearance in abundance. And what really hits you is the quiet and peace of the place. No blaring of horns, no screeching of tires, no loud human voices. In fact, it looks like I'm all set for a weekend of real solitude. The lush green mountains immediately cast their spell on you and you feel relaxed and ready to explore more. And our next stop was Tikka Lake, which was another 18 kilometers away from the main markets of the Morni Hills. But the drive is a pleasant one on a winding road with plenty of pine trees to keep you company, and we soon spot the lakes. This is the point from where I get my first view of the Tikka Lake. In fact, it's a twin lake separated by a mountain in the middle. And as I look down from here, I can tell you it's a scene out of a picture postcard. A small village there surrounded by green fields, a body of water, and of course, all this surrounded by green mountains all around. It looks really inviting down there. It's time for me to go down there and see what it looks like from up close. Local myth has it that even though the two lakes seemingly are separated by a hillock, the water level in the two lakes remain the same, and for the local people here, the lakes are a symbol of something auspicious, and they gather here on ceremonial occasions. However, now it was time for a closer inspection, so I climbed back behind the wheels of the Avventura. The Fiat Avventura here is really a car which combines the best of both the worlds. In part, it's a luxury sedan, in part, it's an SUV. So it comes with a nice high ground clearance and a very high seating position. So it gives you a lot of confidence while you're driving on the highway. And once you look inside, you see that this car has pretty much got everything that you can expect from a luxury sedan. A nice sounding stereo system where you can play the USB as well as the CD, an instrumentation with chrome ring surrounds on it, the steering wheel with multifunctional buttons on it, and of course the seats I like because they are very firm and supportive, and on a long highway drive, they really hold you well. Overall, this car exudes a nice sense of comfort as well as practicality, and this is really a good car to take on a long highway drive. And as I make it to the edge of the Tikka lake here, I realize that this is actually a much bigger lake than what it appeared from the top of the mountain there. And the water here is really nice, clean, and it's glistening absolutely. And this is in fact the hub of the activity. When I say activity, don't get ideas, it doesn't really mean much. The only activity you can actually do here is go boating. But that is not to say that this is not a place you will not like, because this is a place where you come to unwind. You just sit by the lakeside, take in the clean air and the beautiful views, and it's quite relaxing. And in fact, if you do decide to spend the night here, there's a rest house right by the lake. And that looks like a very nice place to spend the evening in and stay the night. Morni Hills is also a place which offers you trekking options, and the river Ghaggar flows nearby. And in terms of flora and fauna, there is plenty, so a nature walk is what is a must if you are here. If you ever get tired of looking at the waters of the lake, then there is another thing you can do, which is to take a long walk in the company of nature. There are plenty of nature trails here, and you can just walk for long hours listening to the chirping of the birds and taking in the fresh air. It's a beautiful way to spend an evening. After a lovely walk, it was time for me to find a place for the night. And this is not really difficult, as there are plenty of options here ranging from the luxury to budget ones. I spent a lovely weekend in the lap of nature in Morni Hills, a place which is far removed from the hustle and bustle of city life. And if you have a quiet weekend on your mind, then I strongly recommend this place. And the best part is, Morni Hills is easily accessible from the cities of Delhi and Chandigarh. And once you reach here, accommodation is not a problem. There's plenty, and you can suit according to your budget. And I, of course, had a lovely time driving this Fiat Avventura, a car which is just suited for highway driving.